Welcome to the PI Podcast, your destination for everything NFL, discussing the latest news and providing in-depth analysis of every NFL game. And now, here are your hosts, Ian and Tesh.
Hey guys, what is up? PI Podcast here. Week 5 is here, so we're going over our picks and quick thoughts on the game before the London game kicks off between the Green Bay Packers and the New York Giants, which is what we're going to start off with, is the New York Giants and Green Bay Packers. Brian DeBull has the Giants 3-1 right now. 3-1, right? Yeah, 3-1 right now. Aaron Rodgers and company and doing well themselves. Good morning, Machine. Appreciate you stopping by.
Was good. Well, before we do that, though, let's talk about the Thursday night football game for just a second.
Okay.
Could that possibly be one of the worst games I've ever watched of all time? Yes, 100% could be.
I don't really see it as, well, it was bad, but I think also you got to give credit to both defenses. Because there wasn't much separation for either team except the last play of the game when that guy was wide open. Russell Wilson seeing
Hamler, man.
Oh, man. I don't know.
I do give a little bit of credit to both defenses. Both defenses didn't allow anything easy, but those offenses need to figure it out.
That Colts line needs to kind of go to gym or something. I mean,
it was
as soon as he got the ball in his hand, Matt Ryan looked, it was like, nope.
It was bad. It was very good. And like you said, I don't want to take anything away from the defenses because, yes, the defenses played well. They didn't, even though the offenses played bad, they didn't give up anything easy. So, yes, we'll give the defenses a little bit of credit there. But Russell Wilson got that big contract. He's got to figure it out quick. He's got to figure it out. And then
Matt Ryan
got two
bad interceptions that I usually don't see him make.
Yeah,
I was like right to the guy too. I don't know, maybe. And the one time one of the throws was an interception where he had plenty of time. And I think he actually got time, so he was like kind of shocked by it. He was like, "Oh, I actually have time," because he was kind of nervous, a little in the pocket. Yeah. He didn't realize he had that much time, and then just threw it.
Thursday night games just aren't very fun most of the time, so hopefully next week will be a little bit better. I think it's Chicago and Washington. So 2 teams that are trying to get a kickstart.
Yeah, they're trying to get it done.
So that should be a good game. Justin Fields will have the opportunity to make himself look like an NFL quarterback.
Yeah.
So now we'll go into the Giants-Packers.
Brian Dable, he has the Giants running well, playing well. At least with all the talent that they don't have on defense, he's got that team playing well regardless of what they have. That defense coming into it didn't look like a very good defense, but he's got those guys playing well. They did bring back Landon Collins as well, which could help them just a little bit in their defensive scheme. And Aaron Rodgers, I think it's gonna have pretty normal day.
I think we'll see Aaron Rodgers really bounce back today.
Yeah, and I need to see Daniel Jones to just keep doing what he's doing this year.
Yeah, I personally, I don't know how I do get they decline the 5th-year option, which means he's going to be a free agent next year. But they can franchise tag him. That's going to be a heavy price tag, though, to do a franchise tag on a quarterback. But, to me, the Giants need to continue to prove their O-line because their O-line interior is just not very good. Their tackles are set, but their interior O-line is not very good. But Saquon, he's made a name for himself again. He's one of the top running backs in the league right now. He's came back hard, and that's really helped Daniel Jones too, I think. having a solid run game to lean on a little bit. But this Giants team has kind of shocked everybody. I mean, I don't think we expected them to be the worst team in the NFL, but I don't think we expected them to be, in a position to be 2-2 or 3-1 at this point of the year. And really, I mean, against Dallas, their interior O-line is what caused them to lose because that Dallas defense is just hard. I mean, it's a tough defense, and they only lost. They only lost by a little bit. I counted one score because the second score came in like the final seconds. That wasn't really. They held on tight to the very absolute end, and I think the Giants have really made a name for themselves this year compared to where they were last year. They made the right decision at head coach so far. It looks like.
Yeah. Good morning, AJ. Appreciate you for being here. How's it going, AJ? Yeah, and so I'm going to take the Packers here.
Yeah, I take.
I think Aaron Rodgers can get the dub, but I think it's gonna be closer.
I think Daniel Jones will have a decent game.
Yeah, I think he's gonna play well. Let's go over some quick fire picks.
Lions, Patriots.
I'm gonna go with. That's tough. Lions have the number one scoring offense in the NFL, and look like the best offense in the NFL right now. Is that going to be enough to stop their defense from
allowing the most points in the NFL?
Yeah, I might have to. I'm going to take the Patriots here just because I love what I saw at Bailey Zapp against the Packers. He played.
I do, yeah. I don't think Bailey Zapp played well.
And I think if he does that again, he's going to beat the Lions.
I'm going to take the Lions here, but I do agree. Bailey Zapp looked like an NFL quarterback, at least last week. We'll see what he does against a bad defense. Let's hope he lights it up because might be a little QB controversy going on in New England. I don't think so. I think it's Mac Jones all the way, but good for Bailey Zapp to come in and just play football. He didn't think too hard about it. He went in and played a good game against first ballot Hall of Famer Aaron Rodgers. He's going to make a name for himself, and hopefully he'll get an opportunity to start somewhere if he keeps doing what he's doing. Chargers, Browns.
I'm going to go Chargers here. I think Chargers kind of finding their rhythm a little bit, and I think it's just going to continue against the Browns. If Chargers can shut down a run, which is going to be tough for them because they allowed 2 straight weeks, 75-yard rushing touchdown, 50-yard touchdown to the Jaguars. It's going to be tough. I think Nick Chubb can get some yards, but I think just it's going to pull out.
Yeah, I think Chargers are going to play more improved football than they have in the past few weeks. And I think they've climbed the last few weeks, but I think this week they're going to put it all together, play a complete game of football. And the big thing is going to be stopping the run. Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt's crazy backfield. And the Chargers' run defense is not that great, like you were saying, giving up big touchdowns. Not just big touchdowns. I think opponents are averaging 5, 6, 7 yards of carry against them. So, they got to bolster up that defense to stop the run. And if they can stop the run today, it's a dub.
What's up, Antonio? How's it going?
Now, the game of the year.
The game of the year.
We got the Texans at Jaguars. But Jaguars are 9.5-point favorites to win this game. It's probably their biggest win spread since probably 2017. They have not had a 9.5-point favorite for as long as I can remember. Yeah. Texans, obviously, rebuilding. They're at the front of their rebuilds. Jaguars are on the back half of their rebuild. But the Jaguars haven't beat the Texans in 3 or 4 years, at home or away. This is played at the bank, so, the Jaguars will have that home field advantage. But it's worth to note that the Texans play very good against the Jaguars, just like the Jaguars play very good against the Colts at home. I'm still going with the Jaguars here because I think that this Jaguars team is good, very good. I really think that this Jaguars team is good. And this is what I want to see today, that the Jaguars, under a head coach, an NFL head coach, improve from last week. That's something they didn't do with Urban Meyer. Every week looked like a shit show. And this year, I want to see them bounce back from a bad performance. I want to see Trevor put that game behind him. 5 turnovers, put that game behind him, and go out there and just sling the football like you've been doing for the first couple games of the season and make a name for yourself. prove all the haters wrong. There's people calling them a bust again. Prove the haters wrong. Destroy the Texans. I got the Jaguars 33-17.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Jags here, but don't be fooled about this Texans team either. They are 0-3-1, but they can play good defense. Lovie Smith's got to play good defense. If they figure it out on offense, they can compete. They've been competing week in and week out. This Texans team has. I'm taking the Jags. I think they're just a better team, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's going to be closer than what people think. So I'm going to go Jags here.
AJ, I've got Jags defense in a number of lineups today. Antonio, we were talking about it before the season even started that this team's going to be better with a new head coach. They have the pieces. However, today I would probably start the Dameon Pierce from the Texans if you have him in a lineup. If he's cheap enough to start in FanDuel or whatever. This Jags defense is without Fatu Kasi, and he's their number one run stuffer on defense. So that's something to look out for. If you want some, I think he's going to get some yardage, and I think if there is a touchdown scored by the Texans, Dameon Pierce will for sure have one of them. So Dameon Pierce is also one to start, but I am starting the Jaguars defense as well because I think it's going to be a very low-scoring game for the Texans today. Here's the other game of the year: Falcons at Buccaneers.
This is gonna be a tough game. Buccaneers have been kind of struggling on offense as of late. Yes, they did make some good drives during the Bucs, but that was when they got Mike Evans and Chris Godwin back.
Yeah.
But otherwise, other than that, their offense hasn't been as dominant as it was the last few years. So can they find themselves against the Falcons? I think they'll have a better game than they did against the Chiefs with the Falcons.
Yeah.
But I think the Falcons defense allows layout yards, but it doesn't break at the end of the game. And that's what I'm looking forward to. I think Marcus Mariota and rushing attack is going to be good. We're Falcons are a top 10 offense in the league right now, and I think that should continue against the Bucs. I think we might be able to get Tyler Algier and Caleb Huntley to rush the ball well.
Caleb Huntley, another one he's going to be a super cheap option for fantasy. Caleb Huntley, if you're doing FanDuel, if you're doing DraftKings, Caleb Huntley, remember the name. Watch it.
Take the Falcons here in a close one.
One carry.
I'm gonna take the Falcons here. I think we can upset the Bucs. They just don't look like the offensive Bucs they do, but it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. Falcons are undefeated. Tom Brady's undefeated against the Falcons. I need that to change today if this team's gonna kind of make a statement.
Yeah. So to me, the keys to victory for the Falcons today is Marcus Mariota protecting the football, no turnovers. Marcus Mariota cannot turn the football over against this Buccaneers team because they will make you pay. And the running game has to produce without Cordell Patterson. He was a huge part of their win last week. Cordell Patterson just needs to get healthy. I mean, he's out 4 weeks. So the Falcons team's got to figure out how to win without him. Cordell Patterson, crazy story for him. I mean, he wasn't really doing anything where he's been out in Chicago and stuff. And then he hit 30, 31 years old, and now all of a sudden he's the top running back in the NFL. He did the complete opposite of what running backs normally do. Normally they're good when they're young. Cordell Patterson just defined the laws of football. So
yeah, Kyle Pitts dropped, so it's going to be a little tough as well for that Falcons offense.
Yeah. So now we got Steelers-Bills.
You got Bucs or Falcons?
I'm going to go Bucs here because of Tom Brady's track record against them. I'm not an analytics guy necessarily, but at the same time, if you've never lost to a team, how do you go against them? So I got to go Tom Brady here. Steelers-Bills.
I'm going to go Bills here. I think they're just too good right now, and the Steelers are struggling. And even if they have to pick it in, might provide a spark, but the Bills team is too good.
Yeah, I've got the Bills here, and I have them winning by at least 2 touchdowns. Dolphins at Jets. This is an interesting one because the Jets have been playing decent football lately.
Yeah, I really like what Zach Wilson did. He didn't have like a statistical amazing game, but he played good in that game against the Steelers. I'm going to take Miami, though. Teddy Bridgewater may cost the game, may cost the turnovers to help the Jets win, but I still take the Dolphins and their team.
Yeah, so then I've got the Dolphins as well. I'm not going against the Dolphins as well until they lose. And I need to see them play like just sloppy football for me. And to me, they've got so many playmakers. on both sides of the ball. They're probably one of the most complete teams to me. The Bills were up there, but with all their injuries to the secondary, they're not as complete anymore. Green Bay, without their wide receiver help, they're not as complete anymore. The Chiefs are probably up there, like with the Dolphins as a complete football team. I would give the nod to the Chiefs actually because of Tua being hurt right now, but the Dolphins have a complete football team. They've got an offensive head coach. They've got a strong defense. When their offense is moving down the field, their defense gets rest, and they're playing better than they did in a long time. So I got the Dolphins. Then we got the Bears versus the Vikings, a division matchup. I've got the Vikings.
I mean, Vikings. I need to see Justin Fields play better than he has the first 4 weeks of the season. I need him to actually lead that team as a full quarterback.
Titans versus Commanders. I've got the Titans going to Washington and winning this football game. They've started to spark up a little bit. Washington, still trying to figure out about Washington. Like, to me, I feel like they're playing worse than they should be. Their offensive line is struggling, and when Carson Wentz is forced to make those quick decisions, he's terrible. And I've got the Titans winning this football game.
Yeah, I got Titans. Derrick Henry had a breakout game last week. He didn't do it against Commanders this week.
Then we've got the Seahawks Saints. And I've been really down on the Seahawks. But Geno Smith has proven me wrong this year so far. So I'm going to go Seahawks.
I love what Geno did last year, and kind of saw him being the starter this year, and he's proven me right. And he's kind of playing very, very well. So I got the Seahawks as well. I think the Saints are struggling. Andy Dalton's not going to fix the issue, even though he did play better than Jameis has all season.
After the Rams defense, I forget how to play when the 49ers come around.
Yeah.
I've got Matthew Stafford in my fantasy league, man.
Cup,
Now, Cup, still a great decision. Cup, he's still getting 100 yards a game. He's the only receiving option. But damn, Matthew Stafford, he's like a Sam Darnold out there. I mean, he's throwing interception after interception. He's costing me points. And it's just pissing me off. I shouldn't be 2-2 right now. I should be 3-1 or 4-1.
He was leading the league in interceptions for a reason.
Yeah, but damn, he's on pace to triple that. Yeah, I'm very pissed about the Rams this year. You have the Rams defense. You don't want 49ers defense anytime. Give up Lamar Jackson for 49ers defense on the weeks that they play the Rams. That's all I'm going to say. 49ers Panthers. This is going to be a very tough game for the Panthers. Baker Mayfield has not been playing very well. And this 49ers defense, they suffocate, man. They've been fairly healthy. Jimmy G is starting to get in a little bit of a rhythm. This 49ers team has potential to be very dangerous, especially late in the year. I've got the 49ers beating the Panthers today.
Yeah, Baker's struggling way too much. I'm going to be even worse against the 49ers defense. I'm going to take the 49ers.
Eagles, Cardinals. I think this is going to be a very good game as well, but I have the Eagles until they don't win.
I'm going to go Cardinals here. I think the Cardinals are desperate to win a game too, and they've been lacking on offense side, which is the only thing I'm right about. But if any game, the Eagles aren't going to go undefeated, and this is the game that they fall. They're going to take a game to lose this one.
Oh, yeah. I forgot Bosa and Baker Mayfield are kind of like rivals because they went to the opposite colleges or whatever. Yeah. The thing with the Eagles, the Jaguars played a very bad game last week, offensively. Kind of defensively, too, but the fact that the Jaguars had 5 turnovers and the Eagles only won by 8 points means that the Eagles are definitely not going undefeated this year. They will lose, and probably lose to a very good offense. So the Cardinals have a chance. I don't know exactly who the Eagles' schedule is, but I definitely don't see the Eagles being the only winning team for much longer. But we'll see about that because, like I said, that Eagles team is also very complete too. Jalen Hurts is playing on a different level this year. Their running game has really picked up since last year. And obviously the addition of A.J. Brown was a very good choice because it's freeing up Devonta Smith. And when Devonta Smith's covered, A.J. Brown's not covered. Dallas Goedert's not covered. Pascal was a very good pickup for them as well. They've got a very good team out there in Philly, and good thing for Eddie because I know he was looking forward to this season for the Eagles. But I got the Eagles here, touchdown the Cardinals, and then the next game is going to be Cowboys-Rams. I said
I'm taking Cowboys here. Their defense is just too good. I don't know if Matthew Stafford's going to have trouble.
Part of the issue is with Whitworth retiring from the Rams, that offensive line has looked terrible this year. And the Cowboys' defensive line is looking the best it's looked in a long time. Micah Parsons, man, he's my favorite to win Defensive Player of the Year, especially with TJ Watt going down. I think between Micah Parsons, Nick Bosa, and those are really the only guys that are sticking out to me this year so far. Aaron Donald's always going to be in the talk, but Aaron Donald's not having anything crazy spectacular every year so far. He's still doing Aaron Donald things, but right now it's Micah Parsons and Nick Bosa as my favorites to win Defensive Player of the Year. Nick Bosa was all over the field last week against Stafford. I think Micah Parsons is going to be all over Stafford this week. Give me the Cowboys here, and I don't think it's going to be very close. I think the Rams' offense has been struggling, especially because of that offensive line. And I think Cooper Rush, Cooper Rush has come in and did exactly what he had to do to win football games. He's not trying to be an overachiever. He's not being an underachiever. He's just playing football.
Doing what he can. Yeah, Antonio. Parity is something cool to see just because so many teams are 2-2, but Tom Brady said it best. There's a lot of bad football going around, and that's why there's a lot of parodies because a lot of football teams are playing bad football. They're having too many penalties, too many mistakes, turnovers, stuff like that. That's a big reason why there's parity right now.
I don't understand why they drafted Trey Lance. They look a lot better with Jimmy under center. He's only 30. Jimmy want to be a Viking, we'll take him. Actually, I've been saying that too, especially after last year not playing him hardly at all. I do understand the 49ers were on a playoff hunt, so it didn't really make sense to put Trey Lance in at the time. But then this year, Trey Lance just wasn't really doing much on offense. Granted, this is technically his rookie year, but then he gets hurt. So it's going to be year 3 before we really get to see Trey Lance again. And you know how it is with football players and stuff. Like, they're going to want their money eventually. And the way to win is to have your quarterback on a cheap rookie deal. That's how you build a contending team, is to get a quarterback on a rookie deal. And we just don't know about Trey Lance. We still don't know. We're in year 2 and still don't know about Trey Lance.
AJ said, what's the Eddie? He's about fighting.
But you can't argue that Jimmy G makes the 49ers look better than what Trey Lance did in the first 2 weeks. Now, granted, like I said, this is basically Trey Lance's rookie year. He's not gotten a chance to prove what he can do. But at the same time, from what I've seen this football team do with Jimmy G go to an NFC championship compared to what Trey Lance was doing at the beginning of the year, it was weird to see Jimmy G not the starter at the beginning of the year because last year they went to the NFC championship. So then we've got next game, Bengals Ravens. This one should be a good one too.
Bengals starting to come alive, and Ravens are looking really good. I'm taking the Ravens here. Lamar Jackson is just too good right now. He's playing at a very good level. Unfortunately, his defense kind of let him down just a little bit, but also the offense kind of went 3 and out at the worst possible moments. And I was making a decision last week to go for a 4th down. I don't like what they did there.
My fiance, I was watching the game, the 49ers-Rams game, and she came out and asked, how's Jimmy G doing? How the hell do you know Jimmy G?
Oh, my God.
You think because he's cute, I'm going to tell you the answer to that? She really did. She came out and asked how Jimmy G was doing. I'm not making that up. But I forgot I was telling her, I was trying to explain to her why that game was kind of fun to watch. Because I was like, they traded up in the draft to draft his replacement. The replacement gets hurt. Now Jimmy G's got to go out there and play football and try to win his job back. So then I've got the Ravens here, actually. I've been liking what I've been seeing from them. And then the last game, I've got Raiders-Chiefs, and I think those Chiefs are going to blow out the Raiders.
Yeah, I think Chiefs have got that easily.
If they did that to the Bucks last week,
yeah, the Raiders don't have a chance right now. I mean, it's a division game, so I guess they do have a chance, but Chiefs are just playing too good right now. I just can't bet against them.
all right. And then what other game do we have? Ours up.
Oh, the last one.
Okay, yep. We're all good there. So we're gonna see some fantasy stuff. Let's see. So we're in Florida. Let's see. So on Underdog, this is some of the stuff we've got. You bet $5, you're getting $100 on these. So we're gonna try to win some money today. On the $10 entry, I've got Nick Chubb getting more rushing yards than Austin Eckler. I've got Saquon Barkley getting more than A.J. Dillon, and that game has started, so we're about to pull it up. Stephon Diggs to have more receiving yards than Devin Singletary. Devin Singletary does have a 61-yard advantage. Kirk Cousins, again, more completions than Justin Fields. Justin Fields gets a 7.5 start on that. And then Jared Goff to have more completions than Bailey Zapp. And Bailey Zapp has a 3.5 head start as well. For my number 2, I've got Daniel Jones to have higher than 29.5 rushing yards. Stephon Diggs to have higher than 82.5 receiving yards against the Steelers. I've got Justin Fields to have more than 7.5 rushing attempts. I think that's very doable. Marcus Mariota to have more than 23.5 rushing yards. And then Kareem Hunt to have more than 16.5 receiving yards. And then my last one, I'm probably going to do a couple more once I see these. I've got Trevor Lawrence. You know, he's not going to throw an interception today. That's my bet. Dameon Pierce to have more than 68.5 rushing yards. And then I've got Travis Etienne to have more than 35.5 rushing yards. Davis Mills to throw less than 36 pass attempts. And then James Robinson to have at least 2 receptions. Those are my 3 that I'm doing. If I hit them all, that's $400. I think that's very doable.
What's up, David? How's it going? It's been a minute. Hopefully you've been good.
Where's my TV now? What's up? It has been a while. We gotta have him back on.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Eventually my TV will work. And it's not connected to the internet, but how are we streaming? You know?
No wireless router connected. What's up?
Go to network settings and select your router. The game in London has officially started as of 10 minutes ago. Looks like Green Bay is going for a field goal.
Yes, sir. It's incredible.
Alrighty.
What's up, Tim? How's it going?
What's up, Tim? All right, who's your sleeper to win, Tim? What underdog do you think is going to win? We're always good on Sunday.
Yes, sir. Football today. Oh, they did fall start. Now it's a 46-yard attempt to the 40.
Oh, we started.
Hopefully you guys are going to have a good Sunday of football. Starting for the London games, 3-0 Green Bay just got a field goal to take the lead.
Oh, the Panthers. Oh, they're playing the 49ers, too. That's going to be a tough one for you guys.
Yeah, it's going to be a very tough one. Tim, I'm not going to lie.
And I'm not going to lie either.
Baker Mayfield needs to pull something out of his hat if they're going to win that game. I mean, the Panthers defense is good enough to stop Jimmy G, but if Baker struggles, they're not.
I mean, the big thing for today for the Panthers should be to try to move the ball against the 49er defense. Even if you lose, you just need to see Baker Mayfield play better. You know, he hasn't been living up to the hype, which granted, the hype wasn't really that, there wasn't really that much hype, but we all were kind of hoping for Baker Mayfield to, prove this Cleveland Brown team wrong. And it hasn't happened yet, but hopefully, excuse me, folks hit me. Hopefully they take a step in the right direction, but I think Matt Rule's part of the problem. You grab Baker Mayfield, you need to play to his strengths. There's no reason Christian McCaffrey shouldn't be running the ball more. There's no reason Baker Mayfield shouldn't be play action passing more. And I don't know. You have the pieces. DJ Moore and Robbie Anderson are solid receivers. Christian McCaffrey's a dynamic running back if you use him correctly. And this defense can be good. So I got to see this team just play call better. I got to see Baker Mayfield play better. And hopefully, they can put on a show today. It's going to be a tough one, though. Nick Bosa's not going to play easy against Baker Mayfield. He doesn't like Baker.
Yeah, Tim Baker's struggling, and their offense right now is tough. There's also rumors that the Chiefs are in great talks with Panthers for DJ Moore. So we're going to see if that rumor comes through or not. Makes sense, kind of, because they want Mahomes to have an extra weapon. But, yeah, it's going to hurt the Panthers even more than what happened.
And we do apologize for the short show, but with the London games coming on, we don't really have to.
The London games kind of made the Sunday stream kind of shorter, but I think there's only a couple more London games. I don't know if there's one next week. I don't think there's one next week.
I can't remember. I know the Jags played Denver, but I think they don't play them for another 2 weeks. Oh, you just got a DJ Moore jersey? Yeah, hopefully they don't.
Yeah, after this game right here, the Packers-Giants is not a Sunday on London game till October 30th. It's Denver against Jackson. Yeah. We're definitely going to have more time every other Sunday, starting from now. So, yeah. It has been a little shorter just because the London games are way earlier. So.
Giants win is a good sleeper pick to me. I think the Giants are playing better football than a lot of people are giving them credit for. It's just last week they played a very tough Dallas Cowboys defensive line, and they had Daniel Jones running for his life, not able to make any reads. So hopefully they'll play better this week.
Yeah, that's a good one to pick, Antonio. I like the Giants. I picked the Packers today, but the Giants have definitely a chance of winning. Let's go down the front. But yeah, the London game is live now. So, yeah, we hope you guys enjoy the games today. Hopefully your favorite team wins.
Yeah. Unless you're a Texans fan, hopefully they don't win. But.
Yeah, and a Bucs fan. So, yeah, thank you guys for joining the stream. We'll be back on Tuesday, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Thank you for watching the PI Podcast. Make sure you subscribe and tune in next time so you don't miss the latest news in the NFL world. You can also follow us on TikTok at PI Podcast and on Twitter at PIPodcasters. Until